to help reduce plastic waste in our environment.
America's beverage companies
are carefully designing our bottles
to be 100% recyclable.
That means every bottle that's recycled
can be turned into material we use to make new bottles.
Please help us get every bottle back.
Sunday, it's an ALDS showdown exclusively on MLB Network. Brandon Lau and the Tampa Bay Rays put it all on the line against Rafael Devers and the Boston Red Sox. Sunday at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on MLB Network.
Welcome back to MLB Tonight, presented by Evan Williams Bourbon. We are inside Studio 3 after a convincing Dodger win in Game 2 of their NLDS matchup against the Giants. It's Greg Amsinger with my guys, Harold Reynolds and longtime Giant, Hunter Pence. Hunter, we didn't want this to script out this way. We wanted you to debut with us after a Giant win. But this was a Giant loss.
Well, you know, as the great Sun Tzu once said, you got to see victory where others see nothing. And the more baseball games you get between the Giants and Dodgers in playoffs, the better it is. And
it comes out with the art of war. I love it.
The art of war. No better way to start it off. But you know what? The Dodgers, 106 wins, the Giants 107 wins. None of it matters. We're in the playoffs. The next 2 wins is all that matters between the 2 of them.
If I had a nickel for every time Police Shack opened the show, Art of War.
Art of War?
Yeah. I'd have 1 nickel in my pocket. This is the 21st time Julio Urias has won a game. He finished the regular season 20-3 with a sub-3 ERA. He didn't go deep in the game. He didn't have to go deep in the game.
No.
This guy is putting together an amazing season. I just don't think he's getting the credit he deserves.
You're 100% right. He's not. And, Greg, here's the thing. We have a bad narrative in my mind that wins don't matter. Certain guys know how to win, and that's why you're called winners. Mm-hmm. He's a winner. And to me, it was the attitude. Early in the game, they missed a pitch on him. He stared the umpire down. He came up with a big knock. But this guy is a gamer, would be the word that a lot of people would always use for a guy that goes out and competes all the time. He competes, and I'm telling you, it's a special season what he's doing. You face him, Hunter?
Yeah, I faced him, and it was when he was young and just learning. But what I really liked a lot about Urias is watching him last year, and I always talk about the pitcher that makes the last out of the season and the pitcher that clinches playoff games. Yeah. He's saying, hey, bring me your best. Like, I'm going to end your season. You have to be able to end the whole entire, all of the work, all of this show, all of it is to be the World Series champion. And you have to be the guy to stand up there and make that last out. And he did it in 5 innings against the Braves.
Yeah, he did.
And then he came and did it to the Rays, and now he's doing it as a starter. That's stuff that's just the best in the world, and it's pretty special.
Now, you guys are talking about, like, his competitive fire, right? But I remember watching Madison Bumgarner, and we get fixated on great starting pitchers, and we talk about their velocity, we talk about their put-away pitches. We never talked about any of Madison Bumgarner's pitches, individual pitches. It was more about his moxie. This guy is not the huge lumberjack body of Madison Bumgarner, but I don't find, and he's got great stuff, but I don't think it's, like, overwhelming. He doesn't throw close to triple digits. He's kind of in that same competitive mold, though, where we're not talking about his individual pitches. We're just talking about how he's a winner and he dominates. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I love where you're going with this.
I see where you're going. No
and I like that you use the word moxie because there's like a competitiveness and a will and like a deep fight within him. And like the ball, like you said, I did face him and it jumps on you. It's got a little extra life that you don't expect, but you feel the fight in the pitcher a lot of times. There can be someone throwing 100 miles an hour and they don't maybe not have the conviction or something, and maybe you see it more. I don't know how to explain it. But the fact that he's getting up there and getting a game, like change the game RBI hit, this is someone that's just competing and fighting. I remember Kershaw doing this to us on opening day, Giants versus Dodgers, throwing a shutout and hitting like a solo homer. It's just like this competitive drive in certain players. Yeah, he little league
That's what little leaguers do, man.
That's a good embarrassing. Too. Kershaw.
Yeah. You know, the other thing about, other than Kershaw, what's different is they brought this kid really through the bullpen. And so we look at him now more at his versatility. He could have been in a rotation. His stuff is good enough for the last 6 years. You know, I mean, he's that type of pitcher. I think now he's getting overlooked a little bit, and maybe some notoriety coming his direction. But had he been sitting in the rotation, we'd have been saying, Kershaw, Urias. But, you know, he's not in that conversation with the rotation. He's more looked at like a pitcher. And that's what they've done with him. They've just dropped him in and out.
Out-getter, as Craig Counsell calls him?
You know, and so I think, but he's so much more than that. It's so much more. And when you add the offense, this guy can hit.
No pitcher had more RBIs this year than Julio
honestly,
Urias.
he reminds me so much of Fernando Valenzuela because Fernando could hit. And I think if you saw this kid get a chance to really, I mean, that's a beautiful swing. That's like a leg kick. I'm coming at you. He hooked that ball, and if he catches it, he probably would have clicked one. He's got that kind of power. And you can just tell that he's been hitting for a long time.
You see, I wasn't lying. Most RBIs by National League pitcher, tied with Germán Marquez. And Hunter, you actually faced him 11 times. You're 1 for 11 against Julio Urias. He's probably not an uncomfortable at bat. He just seems like
he just gets you out.
Yeah, he just gets you out. And he was great today. 5 innings, 3 hits,
Greg.
5 strikeouts.
You're giving it.
Yes, I'm just saying, we just watched Gratterall throw 102 miles an hour with a nasty slider.
Yeah, but he's not like Jamie Moyer fading changing.
No, I know he's not that
Sorry,
way.
Jamie.
I threw the Madison Bumgarner comp because Matt Bum didn't have bad stuff, but it wasn't in the tier that, you know, we're used to seeing with the spin rates and the velocities and all that.
No, I think it's a good reference. Just because they both are lefties that aren't completely lighting up the radar gun, but are getting outs. And out-getters you pays a lot of money to get outs, and you win games by getting outs. So I think it's a good comparison because Bum's always gotten more outs than the stuff necessarily quantifies. And there's like a perceived velocity. So it could be an extension, like a Yusmeiro Petit. I don't know how familiar you are, but he's been silently
He's got everybody out all the time.
And he gets crazy extension. He holds onto the ball. He hides it for a long time. And with Urias, it's very athletic. He's extremely athletic. He doesn't show you the ball very long, and he locates well. All his pitches are sharp and late.
This is going to be fun hanging out with Hunter Pence. He's got more energy than I do.
We might be bouncing out of here.
This is so good. Gabe Kapler, a tough one after an impressive Game 1 victory of the Dodgers with a statement win in Game 2. 9-2 the final. Gabe addressing the media right now. Let's listen in.
Yeah, Alex Wood will start Game 3 for us. Obviously looking forward to turning the page on tonight's game and getting ready for Los Angeles. Wasn't our best effort tonight. Dodgers just swung the bats better than us, made more pitches than us, made more plays than us. So as we've done all season long, we'll turn the page and get ready for an off day of preparation and get ready for Game 3.
We'll stay on the right side. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, we were thinking it was going to be Alex Wood, but can you go a little bit into what the thinking was to put him in that Game 3 slot?
First and foremost, he's just pitched really well for us. And in particular, he's pitched well for us late. So that's the main consideration. He's one of our best 3 pitchers right now.
Go over here.
Hey, Gabe, what did you see from Leon tonight, and did you feel like command was an issue for him coming out of the bullpen?
First control and then command. He's been so good for us all season long. Felt really good about bringing him into that game because of the success that he's had in those situations, and he's got the cutter to get some swings and misses, and if he's able to execute his fastball with the command that you mentioned, he's as good a weapon as we have in those types of situations. It didn't work out tonight.
Go to the gentleman in the green.
Hey, Gabe, we've seen what this lineup can do against lefties, especially given some of the guys like Ruff and Slater. What have you kind of seen out of your hitters going against left-handed pitching in recent games?
I think it's interesting. First, you have to give some credit to Julio Urias, who continues to throw the ball well and kind of be tough out there on the mound. And second, I think every time we've put our lineup out there, right-handed hitting lineup out there against a left-handed starter, we always feel really good about it, because if you go man for man up and down our lineup, we just have good numbers, particularly against lefties. So you kind of think that's going to show up in games against left-handed starters, but it really hasn't happened for us consistently throughout the season. It's been one of the areas that we've sort of struggled. And last year, it was, these types of lineups just produced so much So it is something that we have to, continue to think about. But again, it felt good going into this game against a left-handed starter. The lineup gets really deep there at the end with Evan Longoria, who's been so good against lefties throughout his career, and Donovan Solano, a Silver Slugger winner last year, and a guy who really does have great at-bats against lefties, top of the lineup between Ruff and KB and Austin Slater. We just feel really good about that group, and obviously Buster has always swung the bat against lefties. Craw's swinging the bat against lefties right now. Yeah, it's tough to really get a handle on why we're not scoring more runs in these games, and something for us to keep thinking about.
Go ahead, Susan.
Gabe, we know there are an awful lot of factors that go into your in-game decision-making. One thing you guys didn't necessarily do a ton of during the season was intentional walks. Obviously, the situation there, first base open, the pitcher coming up,
right?
Is a fairly standard thing, but it isn't something that you guys do. What went into that specifically tonight?
First, AJ Pollock's a pretty good hitter, and as always, there's a pretty big difference between an 8-hole hitter, who's a very good hitter, and a pitcher. No matter how good they are at the plate, they're still not as good as an all-star caliber player like AJ Pollock. Beyond that, once you get into a 1-0, 2-0, 3-1 count, we've sort of talked about this during the season, dangerous hitters become even more dangerous. They become elite. And so kind of pick your poison there. Prefer to face Julio Urias. He got a big hit against us. Obviously would like to have that one back. Probably would make the same decision, but would like to record an out there, of course.
And Gausman had, I think, recorded 10 outs in a row when his turn came up to hit in the 5th. Did you consider at all potentially pinch hitting for him there with a 1-run difference?
I think that's probably the biggest decision point in the game from my perspective. There's a couple of things at play there. Number one, as you mentioned, he was starting to find his rhythm and his groove. So we were seeing that with our eyes. He was reporting that. Buster was confirming it. The swings were kind of confirming it. Still, at that point, you may choose to use a pinch hitter and see if you can get a base runner on for the top of the lineup. One thing that's sort of unfortunate in that situation is you have all lefties to run up there against Urias, but it is an important decision point, and perhaps you say in a clean inning for Dom Leon, maybe things go a little bit different. We felt really good about Gausman getting the next 3 hitters out. Obviously, sometimes that works out, and sometimes it doesn't, and tonight it didn't.
Go, gentleman in the green.
You had mentioned Longoria in terms of hitting against left-handed hitters, but he has had his struggles of these last couple games. Just what have you kind of seen from him, and how do his struggles kind of factor in how you go about constructing lineups once you go to Los Angeles?
I thought his swings were better tonight, even though he didn't have much to show for him. He was up underneath the ball, which is, for Longo, usually a good sign when you're not seeing ground balls to the left side, but you're seeing balls elevated in the air. I thought his swing looked a little bit better tonight. I really have a ton of trust in Evan. He's just a professional hitter who's done it very successfully for a very long time, had an excellent year for us, and is going through a period of time and a stretch of at-bats that aren't going his way.
So the Dodgers had a hard time scoring anything in Game 1. Didn't score a single run. Game 2, their bats came alive. I have a theory.
Before you get to your theory, you know what I don't like about that press conference we just saw? Why does Gabe have to, apologize to people or explain it away? They won 107 games. This is a really good team.
So he can't be questioned anymore?
No, he can't. He can be questioned, but we're sitting there. He has to say, well, here's why Evan Longoria is playing. He's had a great career. He shouldn't even have to say that. Longoria played tonight. Oh, well. Hang with him, people.
Well, media's going to ask questions. He has been struggling.
I know. He's too polite. I might have to go off on him. People wake up. We lost one game.
Gabe, stay professional and kind. We're all big fans of that. You know what I'm not a fan of?
What's that?
What more do you need to do to get a starting nod in Game 1 of a division series than what Chris Taylor did in the wild card game? It's a walk-off. He hits a walk-off home run to send them to this division series, doesn't get to start in Game 1.
It's the process, Greg.
So he gets to start in Game 2, and guess what happens? He's the igniter. Did it earn him a start in Game 3? I don't know.
We don't know. You remember a few years ago, Kike hit 3 home runs against the Cubs and put them in the World Series. And had they thrown a right-hander, he's
not
sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
How do you feel the next day if you're that guy? I just hit 3 home runs. I just hit a walk-off home run. How do you feel? It's tough.
I mean, you probably
you've been through that.
It's a dagger in the heart. It's tough to sit on the bench. You're like, I'm hot. I'm feeling good. And like you said, Chris Taylor is a catalyst. And there's people that have just this clutch gene that have the Julio Urias who's just finds a way to win. I like him in clutch situations.
Yeah. No, it's tough. It's real rough. It just is.
But Taylor is making the most of it, is he not?
Well, he is. And tonight, it was his at bat. You know, the inning they kind of broke it open with the Bellinger big hit. I mean, there's little things. He's always in the middle of stuff. But I watched this AB. You got first and second. You got 1 out. And here he is trying to focus in. He missed the 2-0 pitch. He took a swing on. Breaking ball right there. I mean, he swings for the downs. Lays off a tough pitch. Ball up and in. He walks. And that brings up Bellinger. And Cody ends up driving this ball off the wall. But that at-bat, when the pitcher's grinding and working and trying to get things happening. Here comes Chris Taylor just wearing you out. I know that was like a 5-second AB, but that's over the period of time. That's a 3 or 4 minute at bat, 5-minute AB that he is involved in.
He had 3 runs scored in this game.
And I'm telling you, he does so many things. He's in the middle of it. But that AB, now the other guy who's sitting on the on-deck circle, he's seeing all the pitches. He's seeing everything. By him grinding, Cody gets another look at things. But, Hunter, when I saw Cody tonight, he was scuffling early, but it looked like he made a little adjustment. What did you see out of Cody tonight?
Yeah, so all game, the first 2 at-bats for Cody Bellinger. The Giants obviously game plan is to pitch Cody away. And if you look at the breakdown here, Cody, most of the balls he's pulling, and he's not doing a bunch of damage. Right here you can see the percentages. We have 19 up the middle, 1%, 6%, 41, 33 to the right side. So obviously all game, first at bat, away, Posey setting up away, and just fighting it off. Because all of his power numbers are inside. Even though he has a little bit better average away, his damage is inside. So they're not even messing with inside on Bellinger. Gets the strikeout here. And here we go, big situation. Away, misses a little bit more inside, and Bellinger finally makes the adjustment, goes the other way. Changes the game right there. Big 2 RBI knock.
Are you cool with them just always playing Bellinger? He was 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. And sometimes, Hunter, it looks like it's just a non-competitive at-bat. His final at-bat was 3 pitches, see you later. Do you have to roll with this guy? And I'm a huge Bellinger fan. It wasn't his year. He hit under 170 on the season. This is a team that's got aspirations of winning the World Series. They're not just happy to be in the division series. They want to win the World Series again. If you're on this team and you're Chris Taylor and you walk it off and you're not starting, and there's Cody Bellinger again, and you go 2 for 4, 3 runs scored, you might not start the next game. But Bellinger's in the lineup. He's hitting under 170. Is there any buzz in the dugout going, man, where are the analytics that make sense of this?
You know, there's a loyalty analytic, and Dave Roberts. Listen, Dave Roberts. Last year they won the World Series on Bellinger, Robin homers. He was won MVPs for Dave Roberts. He's been a big part of the Dodgers' success and a catalyst, and he's a big part of their future. And with that being said, there is a time where enough's enough, and it's a very tough situation, and it's definitely a hot seat for Bellinger. I'm sure he's not comfortable, but they're probably working on the swing. The talent is there. You need Bellinger to be. But you're right. It's playoff time.
Well,
it's tough.
They're hoping he runs into one. But also, but the other thing, Greg, is it's a different game. They're really using metrics to set their lineups. And as just hanging out with Hunter and spending time talking about all this, it's all the different things they go through, the degrees, figuring out your swing path matches good with this pitcher, so you're going to be in the lineup. And those are the type of things that they're doing.
Tinkering.
It's not, it's
a
not
lot
your
of tinkering.
grandpa's game. It's a different game.
I'm not a tinkerer, I guess. But again, Bellinger came up with a big knock and blew this game open for the Dodgers. We're going to take a break. When we come back, much more on Game 2 of this National League Division Series. Urias and company got it done. A 9-2 final out at Oracle Park. The show really gets going after the break.
MLB Tonight is presented by Evan Williams Bourbon.
MLB and FTX started calling long home runs moon blasts, and now things have gotten challenging. Well, if they can go to the moon, then so can I. The FTX app allows me to trade crypto safely.
FTX, official crypto exchange of MLB.
This wasn't no bear. It was like a bear squatch.
Dad, what's a bear squatch?
It's a cross between a bear and a Sask. It's made up. He's usually sleeping.
He'll never sleep again.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again.
The totally reinvented Always Ultra Thin Wicks gushes 90% faster and absorbs even more for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort. Always Ultra Thins like never before.
Introducing the new City Custom Cash Card, a different kind of card that rewards Dan where his spending is trending. Just ask stepping outside his comfort zone, Dan.
I don't know where the hole for this is.
Or fourth time streaming that period drama, Dan?
You just made me miss your best line, so now I'm gonna have to start it again.
Even insisted he didn't need directions, Dan.
Okay, I'm not lost, I'm exploring. That said, do you know where I am?
From select gas, streaming, travel, and more. Earn 5% cash back that automatically adjusts to your top eligible spend category. Up to $500 spent each billing cycle.
On a road trip, do you need power or optimum power? If that battery in your kid's toy dies, you are in for a long ride. So upgrade to Optimum. Duracell Optimum.
It was the night before breakfast when Alex received a text. Cow or eggs and bacon? It's time to ghost that ex. Toasted breakfast burritos are here. Shut it down and sleep well. The sooner you sleep, the sooner you'll get one. Only at Taco Bell. Bung.
We've come a long, long way together.
May the sun shine warm upon your face. Until we meet again.
Oh, cool office.
Kristen, this is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I mean, look, it doesn't get any better than that, right?
So, is there anything else?
Hey, what if we tech out the lower level?
Lower level?
Yes, look at this. Follow me.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, first of all, amazing.
Yes.
Second of all, I'm thinking 2 words. Ambient lighting.
Boom!
Need a work for you space? Best Buy Home experts provide free recommendations online, in-store, or at home.
Remember when no dream was too big? And you could fearlessly face the unknown. You still can. When you have a rock you can depend on for life, you'll be unstoppable. Like the millions of people who rely on Prudential for financial planning and investing. Who's your rock?
Sunday, it's an ALDS showdown exclusively on MLB Network. Brandon Lau and the Tampa Bay Rays put it on against Rafael Devers and the Boston Red Sox. Sunday at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on MLB Network.
Welcome back to MLB Tonight, presented by Evan Williams Bourbon. We're inside Studio 3 after a convincing Dodger victory over the Giants, 9-2. It's Greg Amsinger with my guys, Harold Reynolds, and longtime Giant Hunter Pence. This is not how we scripted this show, but you're still smiling even though your team lost to the rival Dodgers.
You know, like I said before, you know, you got to see victory where others see nothing. More Giants-Dodgers playoff baseball, the merrier. You don't want it to go 3-0 and be out of here. We want to see a Game 5. We want drama in baseball.
Always optimistic. Are you shocked by this?
I love this. The art of war.
We want battle. We want to earn it.
I love it.
This is it's a good battle.
Man, that might be the smartest guy ever sat in that chair. That's impressive stuff.
You mean Plesac doesn't quote that?
I didn't say just Dan. There's been a lot of guys sitting in that chair. I've even sat in that chair.
Yes, you didn't like it. No. Let's give you highlights of Game 2 of this National League Division Series matchup. We're going to pick it up in a second An intentional walk to A.J. Pollock so the pitcher can hit. Julio Urias. Hunter, did you know he could swing the bat like this?
I mean, I know he's hitting 200, and I know he's a competitor. And, man, right here, this just really kind of breaks it open, gives them the lead, and that's all really Urias and the Dodgers needed. They kept going, but, man, what a guy. Finds a way to win.
2 outs, too. Comes through. Then it's Mookie.
It's a big knock, too. I mean, anytime you can add on, it's important. And they had not been swinging the bats very well in this series so far. It was big. 2-0 lead.
Bottom 2. Runners on the corners. Donovan.
Here they come.
Yes.
Here they come.
One thing Solano's not going to do is strike out. This one to center. Hangs in the air. And it's going to get a run home.
Solano's that old school execute guy. Just finds a way, bat to ball skills, grinding. That's a big at bat to get him back in the ball game.
In a postseason game, you want guys like that at the plate, you know? Yeah. Tough grind out at bats.
Tough grind out at B's. This guy right here.
Long.
Woo! Woo! Wow, pick it.
Now, Taylor was 2 for 4. He had 3 runs scored and was robbed of a knock as well.
A heck of a night. Watch this ball shoot up. Look at that play by Flores. Wilmer.
You say that every time.
Apparently does.
He's just a ball player. He finds a way to get it done wherever he is. Just smooth hands.
Really does.
Next batter is Cody Bellinger. Yeah, that's nasty. That's good Kevin Gossman right there.
That was probably the best pitch he threw of the night. You know, the changeup. He was not as
sharp. I like
that
that one too, though.
That was good, but he wasn't as sharp as we've seen him in the past.
You know, he got like 10 in a row. He retired there for a little bit and got into a little bit of a streak. But here in this, what are we in here? The sixth. He kind of gets a couple base runners. We bring in Leon, and this is where the Dodgers compound interest. They just grind those ABs.
Don't sleep on Gabe's high tops, too. Sporting the white
shoe game?
Tops. Yeah, that's nice.
Now, Dominic Leon has been so good for them down the stretch. That's ball 4. Bases are loaded. Is it about to be a mess? Cody Bellinger, who has to be so happy that there's a 3-batter minimum. This was back in the old days. He's facing a nasty lefty.
100% rule change.
Off the wall. Yes, that's Chris Bryant in center field. Dodgers take a 3-run lead. Here's Pollock. He's been so good for them. So good.
This lineup is deep. I mean, tonight, they really you got a chance to see the depth of this club.
Bottom 6, Joe Kelly out of the bullpen. And I got to tell you, Hunter, Buster Posey had himself quite the night.
3 knocks, just had a career postseason hits, just broke the record for the Giants. That's 54. He'll go to get the 55th one later in the game, even though the game was kind of out of hand. Here's Joe Kelly throwing 100. Look at this play by Trey Turner. He's just shortstop playing second base. That's a knock against any other second baseman, just flying. It's amazing the impact that he's had since coming over to the Dodgers.
He's a terrific athlete.
He gets overlooked. When we're talking about best players in baseball, he's right there in that conversation.
Uh-oh, Brandon Crawford. Mookie Betts spinning and firing. Some thought maybe he should lay out. Why? We can just end the inning.
I thought he was going to lay out. But, man, what a beautiful throw.
Pitching and defense.
That's just awesome.
He's out, too. And what a target by
every postseason series he does something. Here's Trey Turner. This is what Chris Bryant said to us.
If you knew for the next 5 to 10 years you would only play one position, because you move around all over the diamond, you can play one position. What position would that be for Chris Bryant?
Center field.
Whoa!
That's breaking news.
That is breaking news.
I love center. It's just, I mean, there's something about being out there, man.
That is amazing. Well, you're athletic enough to do it.
We were floored at the All-Star game when he said that. And here he is in center field.
Look at him go get it. Look at him go get it. So, Hunter, did you like playing center field?
I did like playing center field. I didn't get to play it for very long, but it's a beautiful view out there.
The big fellas.
Will Smith is going to enjoy the view.
The Fresh Prince has been balling, hasn't he? He really came on last year. And he's just continued to get better and better and better.
Dodgers lead 7-2. They win easily. 9-2 the final. Urias gets another win. He won 20 during the regular season. 5 innings, 3 hits. Only threw 72 pitches. After the game, Lauren Gardner caught up with Cody Bellinger.
All right, Cody, well, big walk there on Wednesday in the wild card game, and you followed that up with a huge double tonight to break this thing open. Does it kind of feel like you hit the reset button in the postseason?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I was feeling good towards the end of the season. Body's feeling pretty good, and now it's, put that away and just focus on the postseason and get the job done any way I can, help this team win.
Okay, for as big as your ribby was, let's be honest, Julio's was bigger, right? It had to be more fun anyways.
It didn't surprise us. The dude has been raking all year. It's special to watch him hit, and he likes hitting, he enjoys it, and he's very, very good at it, and he showed it today.
It seems like as a whole, your entire club is more disciplined at the plate tonight. What was the conversation about pitch selection and just kind of going deeper into the count going into this one?
Yeah, yesterday was a day where you just tip your cap. You beat us, and we knew we've been in that situation before, and you knew today was a whole other day to take advantage of and try to tie the series. So, we've been down before, and just another baseball game for us.
And to tie the series on the road, you take this thing back to SoCal. You knew you were going to have to win one here in San Francisco in order to get through these guys. How big was it to do it early on in the series?
Yeah, it's a huge win against a really good pitcher as well. So, proud of our guys. We stuck with our approach and our plan, and we executed it well, and it showed today.
Now on to the next. Appreciate your time.
All right, thank you.
Cody Bellinger, 1 for 4 in this game. A big knock, though, when the Dodgers needed it. And the Dodgers needed offense after game 1. 5 for 32. Logan Webb was terrific. The rest of the bullpen finished that game off. But in this game, a different story. 5 extra base hits. They were getting hits with runners in scoring position like Cody Bellinger did. Now, Hunter, you've had teams pitch you a certain way. And eventually, I'm sure you catch on to it. You're a smart guy. Cody Bellinger was 1 for 4. One of the hero interviews after the game, but he struck out 3 times. What could he learn from this game in terms of how the Giants are approaching him?
Yeah, in his first 2 at-bats, you see the Giants just clearly working him away. And if you look at the splits of where he does his damage, where his power is, and where he likes to hit the ball, you can see right here, he is not going the other way very often. And here's Gossman facing him in the first couple of bats. Oh, wait, here we go. So 1%, 6% the other way, 19% up the middle, but he's pulling the ball 41-33. He wants to pull the ball, hit the homers, and that's where he does the damage. And here you see Gossman just every pitch, Buster's setting up away, away. Right there, gets the strike, gets the splitty down. Buster doesn't even move. So he's going to eventually get the strikeout here, gets him with that splitty. And now here we go in the 3rd at bat. Leon misses it right, gets a little bit down the middle. But you see Bellinger make the adjustment, and he gets his barrel and he drives it the other way. So you kind of have to realize after those couple of at-bats that the Giants are attacking you away. You haven't seen a single ball in the inside half.
Well, you documented it perfectly. When Cody goes into these little mini skids, he's not hitting the ball the other way. When he hits the ball the other way, it gives him a chance. But I do want to echo one thing he said. He really started swinging the bat and playing better the last month of the season, in September. Remember, he had the shoulder surgery. It took him a while to rehab that and get it stronger. It took like 5 months. We're now starting to see, clearly he's getting that bat through the zone. I know he's changing his stance. That's just what we do as hitters, when you're struggling. But at the end of the day, it's still the basics of fundamentals of his swing are still there.
Yeah. You can see bat speed being an issue with the graphic we just showed you, hitting under 150 against fastballs that are 95 or higher.
Yeah.
If your shoulder's at 100%, your bat speed's going to be a tick off. So they've been taking advantage of that. When you look at what the Dodgers can do, we get lost in how many great starting pitchers they have, the flamethrowers they have in their bullpen, and obviously offensively on a night like this to score 9 runs. But defensively, this team can play with anyone. One of the most entertaining defensive teams in baseball.
That's how you win titles. You go back, what was it, Mookie making all those plays last year in the World Series, and Seager came up with them as well. But defense is what's going to win games for you. And in the postseason, that's what's going to sustain you. But let's go to the at-bat here of Urias driving in the base hit. All right, that got the night going. When your pitcher drives in a run, and then you defend like this, first and second in the 6th inning, you get a ball hit up the middle, and Trey Turner says, not on me. Let me get this here. Get the force, the presence of mind. He and Seager working so well together now. And then you get this type of a play where the ball falls in, the Giants think they have something going. Nobody's supposed to get thrown out of third on that ball. Mookie's spinning around like Roberto Clemente and gunning people. And then later on in the next half inning, you have another pick of a shortstop playing second base. Basically, you see the arm strength. Lingoria's gunned down. When you have your pitcher drive in your first runs and the defense plays like that, that's demoralizing. That rips your heart right out of you. Mm-hmm. So if you look at the Astros win the other day, you had a play by Altuve. You had a play by Correa. Their defense really sustained him. If you can have defense and you score just a little bit of runs, you're going to win games. And tonight, that was the biggest difference.
Can I read between the lines there that you think maybe the Astros will play the Dodgers in the World Series?
I'm not about that. I didn't say that. My bracket's all messed up.
Hey, Julio Urias, if they do make it to the World Series, Hunter, is a huge reason why. This is the 21st game this year this young left-hander has won. You have faced him. You went 1 for 11 in your career. Is his stuff that top shelf? Is it that nasty? How would you describe him?
Yeah, it's elite stuff, and it's several pitches that are elite. And the thing is, it's not like the hardest pitch you're going to see in the game because, you know, the Dodgers have these guys throwing a couple guys throwing 100. The Giants have a couple guys throwing 100. But what it is he hides it for a long time, and he has. To be a guy who ends the season, who ends the World Series, that's like, hey, guess what? Like all of this work, all of MLB Network, all of the data, all of the spring training, it's all to win the World Series. And the pitcher that's going to come and end that season has got to be electric. And he's got that stuff to get you out to end the season. Say, hey, the whole MLB is over. Urias ended it last year. He also did it to the Braves for 5 innings to end a Game 7, the comeback when they were down 3-1. He just has that, like, X factor.
Closer mentality as a starter, maybe, as a way to describe that.
What a weapon.
Right?
I do believe this. You know, it's almost like an old school trend. So many pitchers learn their craft being called up through the bullpen. Then you get rewarded the starting rotation. He has learned how to get guys out in short stints with a little bit of with just being efficient with not as many pitches.
Attack the zone.
Because you're in the bullpen. Yeah. It makes you come after guys. And if he takes that mindset to the mound as a starter, yeah, he's going to get length. He's going to get wins. I just love this kid. He's a battler, man.
He was great, but he was the second best left-handed starter on Saturday. He only finished second.
Yeah.
Because there was a kid in Atlanta for the Atlanta Braves that was even better. Yeah, Max Fried against the Milwaukee Brewers. When we come back, highlights of Game 2 from that National League Division Series. Next.
Hello, Max.
MLB Tonight is presented by Evan Williams Bourbon.
There are 2 kinds of bourbon drinkers. Those who put it on a pedestal and those who put it within reach. If you'd rather add rocks to your glass than bourbon to your collection, there's Evan Williams 1783. An award-winning small batch that's extra aged, 90 proof, and easy to enjoy, with or without friends. What can we say? You're our kind of people. Evan Williams 1783 small batch. When bourbon's done right, people notice.
You try to stay ahead of the mess, but scrubbing still takes time. Now there's Dawn Power Wash Dish Spray. It's the faster way to clean as you go. Just spray, wipe, and rinse. It cleans grease 5 times faster. Dawn Power Wash, now available in free and clear.
You booked a cozy Verbo mountain cabin with a kitchen where everyone can chef. A family room where you can let your hair down. And a backyard that is a tree-lined living room. But the thing they'll remember forever, watching the game together once again. The time for getting back together is now. Find it on Verbo.
Reggie Bush used to eat breakfast somewhere else. Then he tried Wendy's breakfast. Now we can't get rid of him.
Can you believe this breakfast croissant is only $1.99?
Yeah, Reggie. I put the sign up.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
There are beautiful ideas that remain in the dark. But with our new multi-cloud experience, you have the flexibility you need to unveil them to the world.
What do you see? Food? Business? Do you see an income for generations of families? Or maybe you see a community? Because we do. Beef farmers and ranchers see this land has potential. Their cattle have the ability to prevent wildfires, spur new plant growth, and even feed the masses. You see, cattle have an amazing ability to take what we can't eat and turn it into something we can. Beef. It's what's for dinner.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be, handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Welcome back to MLB Tonight, presented by Evan Williams Bourbon. Oh, Sunday doesn't get any better than this. 4 p.m. Eastern, Rays, Red Sox. You can see it right here on MLB Network. Matt Vasgersian, John Smoltz, Ken Rosenthal with the call. On FS1, it's Stros, White Sox, MLB Tonight before and after every postseason game. On Saturday, it was a postseason game in Milwaukee. The Braves taking on the Crew. Brandon Woodruff, after Corbin Burns was so good in Game 1.
Man, I'm telling you.
Facing Ozzie Albies. Pop fly, foul territory. Willie Adames. Oh, my goodness.
Snatch it, Willie.
That's insane.
You're right. Snatch it is the perfect way to describe that.
Yeah.
I think it's in this area.
He just threw his glove there.
There's sun, there's shadows. That's like,
I mean,
1-2 pitch. Too much play to Freddie Freeman. Oh, he's in there safely.
He's looking Solaire. This is a big play right here. You know what was impressive about this, right? Not Albies going off the top of the wall and comes back. The fact that Freddie Freeman busted his tail from first base and didn't think, oh, that ball's out of the park, I can just jog. That was a big run. Big hustle from Freddie.
No doubt. So we go to the 5th. Woodruff, when he just relaxes and settles in, one of the nastiest pitchers in baseball, right, Hunter?
Absolutely. His stuff is electric, and it's just overpowered. Here's 98 at the top of the zone. He's got command of everything. Well, 97 down the middle. Happily we got the shift and Wong's right there. But yeah, Woodruff's got elite stuff. The Brewers have 3 guys with elite stuff. He just ran into the buzzsaw Fried.
Look where this ball lands.
Oh my gosh, that's a big country.
Right. That wasn't up in the zone. He had to go down and get that. Austin Riley, his first of the postseason. It's now 3-0, bottom 6. Fried is still out there. He's facing Eduardo Escobar, runner in scoring position. 2 outs, punch out. 96
with movement, up high and down low. Sometimes it looks like a changeup if you're not looking at the MPH. It's moving
yeah, it's a good point.
What?
9 strikeouts, no walks, bottom 7. Matzikin, nasty.
Damn.
Brewers with the tying run at the plate. So we're through 7. We're going to go bottom 8 now. It's Adames. It's Escobar. It's in the air. It's deep enough. Jace Peterson.
I was going to say, Soler went back. I wish there was a replay.
This that was so fun to watch. But go ahead.
You go ahead. Sorry.
No,
but this is so fun.
It was just such a battle because he just grinds these at-bats so well. And watching him and how slow, I know we get the quick one shot, but it was a long battle for Matzik to get out of that jam.
Luke Maile grounds into a double play. This series is now even 1 game apiece. The Atlanta Braves, they beat the Brewers 3-0. Terrific starting pitching, really on both ends. Woodruff 7 strikeouts through 91 pitches. But the hero of the game joined our own Matt Yaloff after this Game 2 victory, Max Fried.
Max, you said nothing replaces experience. So what did you use in Game 2 that you drew off of your past?
Just knowing that it's the same game. If you make the pitches that you're supposed to make and put them in the good locations, you're going to give yourself the best chance to go out there and have success. So just being able to rely on the teammates and know that I have an unbelievable defense behind me and I'm working with a great catcher that I trust a lot. So just trying to simplify things and just make the good pitch.
You were taken out after 81 pitches. What was that conversation like?
My job is to go out there and throw the ball until, manager Snick comes and takes it out of my hands. So as soon as he came over and said, that's it, I knew that I'd done my job and, hand it off to a bullpen and be able to close it down like we did. These guys have been really good, especially down the stretch. We've really relied on them. So you knew that, you might be with their back against the wall, but you know that they're going to be able to make that one pitch to be able to get out of it.
Max Fried had a terrific second half of the regular season. His last 12 starts, a 1.35 ERA. If you're looking at a pitcher who might have the most momentum that's still standing. We love Corbin Burns. We love Max Scherzer. They're going to vie for the Cy Young. We love Walker Buehler. Arias won his 21st game, if you count this to his other 20 in the regular season. But Hunter, Max Fried is as dominant as any starter still standing in October, is he not?
He definitely is, and that's what matters most, and you saw it tonight against Milwaukee. Semi-must-win game. Obviously, you can go down 2-0, but you do not want to go down 2-0. Pretty good stuff having him in game 2, and it's a battle between him and Woodruff, and he just basically dominated. That's electric stuff, let it fly, and got the win.
Yeah, the 5-game series puts pressure on game 2, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you're down 1 and you go down 2, it's hard to beat somebody 3 times in a row.
That's a long flight.
Yeah,
no matter if you're going home or you're going
no doubt about it.
On the road. Were you okay? Obviously, Max Fried was going to answer that question, being very diplomatic and kind. And my job is to get people out until the manager takes the ball from me. What did you think of the chess match of game 2 here?
I didn't really look at the Max Fried. I know 81 pitches. It was more once you got into the bullpen. What were the matchups going to be that you wanted to get those hitters off the bench? So as I looked at the 7th inning, this is when it all started kind of happening. It's a chess match between Snitker and Counsell. And they're sitting there going, all right, here's our matchups as we get to this part. This is where the game starts to change. So let's go to the bottom of 7th. Runners on first and second, no outs. Bogey thinks he's going to get a chance to hit. No, you don't. That's it. We're going to go get a lefty. He waited for him to be announced. Now they burned him. So here comes the lefty out of the bullpen to get Metzik to come in. All right, so he's coming in. I just want to know, is this the one you want? You get Taylor. This is the matchup they wanted. All right, that was 2 outs. I'm sorry, I said there was no outs. There's 2 outs in this inning. He gets the punch out. Let's go to the 8th, because now you got him in the game. He's going to face 2 lefties, but he walks Peterson on the first lefty, and then you got Colton Wong with the little blooper falls in. Now it's kind of backfiring on you, right? Do we go get the righty, the starter that we got warming up, and you got your closer up already in the 8th inning? That's tough to have him extended. So we're going to go ahead and go to Willie Adams. And I'm still wondering, they faced each other in game 1. He hit the ball hard, just gets a knock off Riley. But why are we not moving runners? If you're the Brewers, it's the 8th inning. No outs. Adames handles the bat. This isn't the guy that hit 10 home runs for you the first week. He's just middle infielder. Well, they let him swing the bat. This is what we play now. But I think in playoff baseball, you got to move runners.
I'm with you.
And I'd rather have 2nd and 3rd and force the Braves have to do something. That's National League Baseball. Got the strikeout. Then you got Escobar. He's a switch hitter, so he's going to keep him in there to face the lefty because I want him on the right side, not the left. You get the fly out and the throw by Soler. Now you're 1st and 3rd, 2 outs. And really, this comes to Big AB. And all of a sudden he says, nope, I'm not going to the righty. It's a starter down there. I'm going to stay with Matzik. He's looking like he's getting guys out. He's got the breaking ball working. It paid off. So Snitker worked it tonight. And he was able to make that work for him, and he got through it. Now, you can question, did he take out Max Fried too early? But they won the game, so it's hard to question when you win. But I just like the chess match, and as we go through the rest of the series, what will those matchups look like from the 7th, 8th, and 9th? But I still think the Brewers missed an opportunity to move runners.
They're waiting for a homer. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, but you don't have to. You got the 9th. I'd rather go into the 9th inning possibly down 1 instead of down 3. And that's what happened. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
Well, you still have to get a knock. Even if you just bunt them over or move them over, you're still going to get 2 runs, you're going to have to get a knock.
Yeah.
You're down 3. You're leaving also the double play opportunity in order. You play to win the game is a quote that is thrown around a lot, and you need a big inning down 3 with 2 innings to go. You're looking at, obviously, Will Smith had some struggles towards the end of the year. found a way to get it done, get them back, win that NL East. But to me, I think you got to play to win the game. I think you got to let him swing there. Willie Adames was kind of the MVP of that lineup, even though he cooled off a little bit. It's a tough call. I see your point, though. Because
I just think you got to put pressure.
Yeah.
You got to put pressure.
I definitely see your point.
Now, if Willie Adames puts the ball in play, we may have a different conversation. But once you get the punch out, then my strategy stands. but if he puts the ball in play, gets a base hit, it works out. But I just think you got to put pressure in the postseason.
Especially the way these the Atlanta pitchers look so far. We were always talking about the Milwaukee Brewers starting rotation. As you look at StatCast powered by Google Cloud.
But I hear you.
Morton was good. Fried was great. And how about Ian Anderson? He's going to get the ball in Game 3. Highest changeup usage among starters. His changeup is as nasty as anyone in the game. He will get the ball back in Atlanta as the Braves try to take a 2-1 series lead. We're going to step aside in this edition of MLB Tonight. We'll switch it over to the American League side. The series all even between the Red Sox and the Rays, thanks in large part to Kike Hernandez, who's become a consistent postseason hero. How? Why? We'll talk about Kike next.
StatCast is powered by Google Cloud, the official cloud technology of MLB.
Look ahead into the future with open eyes.
Challenge or opportunity? It all depends on how